how's it going everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest and the greatest gaming news. With all of the rumors, supposed leaks, and misinformation going around involving the Elder Scrolls 6, I wanted to take the time to go through all of them together in a new series on my channel because today we're going to break down 5 rumors involving the Elder Scrolls 6. We'll break each rumor down from everything between what the rumor suggests to where the rumor came from, and then I'll give you my opinion on whether the rumor is true or faker than that Redwater skooma. 1. The Elder Scrolls 6 Valenwood. This is one of the earlier rumors surrounding the Elder Scrolls 6 and led the community to believe that the Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be set in Valenwood. Initially, this got the community pretty excited and led to a lot of speculation about the game. The rumor even fueled the fire for several other supposed Elder Scrolls 6 leaks. Piggybacking off the rumor about the game being set in Valenwood, building off that rumor with even more supposed leaked information. The interesting thing about this rumor is it originally was a supposed leak itself. This leak actually originates as far back as 2014. As I said earlier, it is one of the earliest leaks involving the Elder Scrolls 6. The leak popped up on Reddit along with this supposed leaked E3 2014 Bethesda document. The document listed very specific terms that all Bethesda staff were prohibited from saying or even talking about at E3 2014. And on this list was the Elder Scrolls 6 and directly underneath it, as you can see here, Project Greenheart. The community automatically assumed Project Greenheart was related to the Elder Scrolls 6 since it was directly above on that list, and from there they speculated that Greenheart most likely was hinting towards a Valenwood setting, as Valenwood is known for having very dense and unusual forests, including massive walking trees with cities built into their canopies. Another very interesting aspect of this leaked document is it accurately predicted Fallout 4 Nuka World content before it was ever officially announced by Bethesda. On top of that, I believe it even predated Bethesda's official announcement for Fallout 4. Some people in the community believe this confirms this leak is indeed legit, but even so, even if this leak and this document are real, that doesn't confirm that Project Greenheart has anything to do with the Elder Scrolls 6, nor does it mean it has anything to do with Valenwood. I get it though, this list does seem to be in somewhat of a consecutive order, where things directly listed underneath another item are for the most part related, with Fallout content being listed together and Project Greenheart being listed directly underneath the Elder Scrolls 6, you'd assume that the two were connected. And if you know anything about Elder Scrolls lore, and specifically Valenwood itself, Greenheart does seem to fit if the Elder Scrolls 6 was set in Valenwood. But as to whether or not that this specific rumor is real, with all rumors and things specifically like this one, unless they are directly confirmed by Bethesda, we can't even consider them confirmed. And when it comes to Reddit and 4chan leaks or anything else, most of them tend to be fake, although some do end up being true. Normally, I'd consider something like this more fake than not, however, because it accurately predicted Fallout 4, Fallout 4 Nuka World DLC, and so on, I consider this list plausible. Let me know what you think about the Elder Scrolls Valenwood leak down in the comments below. 2. The Elder Scrolls 6 will run on the same engine as Skyrim. Oh, here we go with this rumor again. Before I even break this one down, I just want to say that I have numerous videos on my channel where I list plenty of evidence proving this rumor is false. But since this rumor is so prominent and still somewhat active, I wanted to be sure to list it in today's video, since I'm going to break down all rumors involving the Elder Scrolls 6 in this series on my channel eventually. Now, this rumor originally sprang into action shortly after Fallout 76's very shaky release. Bethesda was under a microscope back then, and pretty much still is, to be honest. Anything they say or do is heavily criticized, and in an interview back in November of 2018 between Todd Howard and Forbes, people were quick to criticize Bethesda and totally misread and misrepresented one of Todd Howard's statements. They pretty much twisted his words into a pretty silly rumor considering how clear it is what Todd Howard was actually saying. Within this interview, and while on the topic of Bethesda's next-gen game engine, Todd Howard said the following: Fallout 76 uses a new renderer, a new lighting system, and a new system for the landscape generation. For Starfield, even more of it changes, and for the Elder Scrolls 6 out there on the horizon, even more. We like our editor. It allows us to create worlds very fast, and the modders know it really well. There are some elementary ways we create our games, and that will continue because that lets us be efficient and we think it works best. When people heard this, they assumed it was Todd saying that they're going to use the same game engine for all of their future games, which is an easy mistake to make, I guess, if you're viewing this statement through the perspective of already assuming Bethesda is going to say something stupid. What Todd Howard is literally saying though is that they just like their editor, their world builder, which is just one component of many that all together make up a game engine. That means they'll use the same world builder in future games, not the same entire game engine. And beyond that, even the world builder itself can be upgraded and massively improved to meet next-gen capabilities, and some would still be considered the old world editor just because it's the same original framework. In fact, this very thing is what most game developers do with their game engines and several components within their game engines, and it would actually be stupid to not continue to build off the years of experience and the game engine building that you've already done. To just completely throw out entire components, the entire code that you use for your game engine is just ridiculous and would be a very bad move. So I think it is obvious to say that this rumor is fake. Bethesda Game Studios will not be using the same game engine as Skyrim and Fallout 4, etc. in The Elder Scrolls 6. 3. The Elder Scrolls 6 will have multiplayer. This rumor didn't really pop up in any specific place, but it did pop up after a specific time, right after the announcement of Fallout 76. Some members of the community felt betrayed when Bethesda announced an online game. Bethesda Game Studios was known exclusively for single-player RPGs, so an online game was unexpected to say the least. Combine this with the fact that not too long before this, Bethesda had the Save Player 1 promotion, further stating that they'd focus on single-player games, and the Bethesda shitstorm started. And by shitstorm, I mean Bethesda had every and any type of negative speculation about their future as possible, including that even The Elder Scrolls 6 will somehow be an online-only game, or at least have heavy online components, similar to what BioWare did with Mass Effect and Dragon Age, for example. Now, I don't want to get in any opinions about Fallout 76 or the future of Bethesda Game Studios, but I will say that this rumor is false, and Bethesda has stated numerous times, even back in E3 2018 interviews, that both Starfield and The Elder Scrolls 6 will be the massive open-world single-player RPG games that we'd expect from Bethesda Game Studios, meaning no multiplayer. 4. The Elder Scrolls 6 is the next game that Bethesda Game Studios will release. Again, this is an easy debunk, but not everyone is following Bethesda Game Studios or even gaming as closely as some people do. And since this is a running series on my channel where I will eventually get to every and any Elder Scrolls 6 rumor, I'd have to crack open this bottle of skooma and dump it out on the floor eventually, so we're gonna do that right now. No, as much as it may hurt, The Elder Scrolls 6 is not the next game that Bethesda Game Studios is working on. Bethesda, including Todd Howard, has said this multiple times. Their next major single-player title is called Starfield and will be a new IP set in a new universe. Basically, this game has been Todd Howard's space RPG dream and vision since he joined the gaming industry, and if this doesn't get you hyped already, be sure to check out my other videos breaking down Starfield information on my channel. Back before Fallout 76 was announced, Bethesda stated that there would be 2 major games released before The Elder Scrolls 6 would come out. Those 2 major games are now known to be Fallout 76 and Starfield. So with this in mind, it looks like we may not get The Elder Scrolls 6 until 2022 to 2024. Unless Bethesda starts putting games out faster than they normally do, which could be a bad and a good thing. Personally, I don't really hope for that, but I definitely hope for it to take less than, 8 years or however long it's been since Skyrim has come out. 5. The Elder Scrolls 6 will be a ladder climbing simulator where you throw spears while casting levitation spells. No, I'm joking, but if you don't get this inside joke, many people cite Bethesda as, quote, dumbing down their RPG games and removing vital RPG mechanics. With this in mind, some members of the community fear that this may happen again to The Elder Scrolls 6 on some level. This rumor popped up a little bit after the launch of Fallout 4, which received similar criticism at the time, as some people in the community claimed that the game lacked depth when it came to RPG elements. And this rumor got even more fuel added to its fire again after the launch of Fallout 76, when Bethesda was already under a microscope to begin with. And as for this rumor's credibility, this one I can't really make my mind up on. Well, part of me says that Bethesda Game Studios is self-aware, as they've proven in the past, and that they will hear the community and fix this issue, therefore making The Elder Scrolls 6 have deeper RPG game elements than ever, but at the same time, there is an unfortunate trend of games losing a bit of game depth in order to make them more accessible. This very thing has been going on for many developers in the game industry for a while now, and for not making their games more accessible, some game developers have gotten negative attention, so it's hard to say what will happen in regards to this rumor. Unfortunately, I do have to label this rumor as plausible until we see what Bethesda does with Starfield. That is all the rumors I wanted to break down today. Be sure to like this video and subscribe, as this will be a new series on my channel. Also, be sure to let me know what you think about these rumors down in the comments below. And if your comment wins the internet and may get featured in a future video. Don't forget to subscribe to stay in the know when it comes to the latest and the greatest gaming news. Follow me over on Twitter for channel updates. Come over to the community Discord chat server where there is always an awesome and active conversation taking place. Be sure to check out Loot Drop, the official Skullzi channel merchandise site where you can support the channel and get some cool channel merch in the process. And if you want to have your hand in providing future content and getting access to unique and awesome awards, then consider subscribing to the community on Patreon or join the channel here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. Links for all of these awesome things are down in the description below, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when the hype is still assuming direct control.
just works.